I had this buddy, we rode bikes together, and one summer, the one before my 4th grade year, we found this pool of water that was cut off from the main channel of the river that ran by our place. And so we would go down there every day and check in because we found a couple of carp in there. Not little carp, big, giant carp. And we bring them food and candy bars and lettuce and stuff. I still don't know what carp eat. And so by the end of summer, it was this hot pool filled with nerds and Butterfinger wrappers and old moldy lettuce floating around, and 2 carp that were not feeling very well swimming around in this cesspool of death. We knew they weren't doing very well, but they were really big carp and we didn't want to touch them because we loved them, but we were terrified of them. So we went up to the campground that was nearby, and so we asked this dude who was sitting there, who was wearing this mesh tank top and these cut-off jean shorts where you can see the pockets underneath, if he would come down and help us out. And he was like, oh yeah, carp, whatever. And he had like the beer and cigarette combo in the one hand. And so we walked down there with the combo, and then as we got down there, we saw in the other hand, he had an aluminum bat, and he just waded out into the water and beat those things to death right in front of us. And what he left was this pool of 2 dead floating carp and scales and blood everywhere, and we ran away. We got on our bikes and fled, and I remember very specifically crying on that bike ride home. Now here's the question as it pertains to what I want to talk about today with the Bible. Was that more than I could handle? People often quote 1 Corinthians 10:13 as saying, God will never give you more than you can handle. But I suppose that depends on your definition of handle. Technically, I did not die in the horrible fish beating incident of 1986, but it really did mess with me and it made me feel terrible, and I still feel kind of sad about it when I think back on it. So did I handle it or did I not handle it? What did God actually mean when he said he'll never give us any more than what we can handle? For a long time that passage really threw me off. I'd quote it because everybody quotes it, and I'd say it in different times to try to encourage people when I was a lot younger, but it always felt weird and like it couldn't possibly actually mean that just because of how life is. It seems like quite the conundrum, but maybe this will shed some light on it. Did you know that Sherlock Holmes' big famous saying, which is elementary, my dear Watson, is not something that he ever actually said? I mean, sure, it's probably been said in shows since then or whatever, but in the actual Sherlock Holmes books written by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, he never says the line. Likewise, 1 Corinthians 10:13, which is purported to say God will never give you more than you can handle, doesn't actually say that, rendering perhaps this entire discussion moot. But check out what it actually says. It goes like this: no temptation has seized you except that which is common to man, and God is faithful. He won't let you be tempted beyond what you can bear, but when you are tempted, he'll also provide a way out so that you can stand up under it. That's not the same thing. Truth to be told, that imaginary verse doesn't really jive with the rest of the New Testament at all. Peter talks a whole bunch about suffering, Paul talks about suffering, and then Jesus, the guy who the religion is named for, talks a lot about suffering. The reality is things happen to us that are often more than we can handle or bear. But the immediate context here isn't about endurance or courage. It's about not screwing up horribly in sinful ways or chasing after false gods. The point here is that no matter how determined something feels in the moment, God is providing a way out for those who want to obey him and follow him. My shortcoming in how I used to read this verse is that I never actually read the verse. What? A camera? I had no idea. This completely spontaneous family walk was not meant to be captured on camera. But since you're here, I figured it'd be good to tell you about offthepage.com, who sponsors my video series on ruined Bible verses. So you just got done watching one of those. If you like what's going on, you'll probably like what they're doing over on their site. Again, it's offthepage.com. We appreciate partnering up with them. I'm Matt Whitman, and we'll see you soon.